Hello, ladies and gents, boys and girls, people of all ages, sexualities, and identities, and welcome back to another Doctor Who review, and the last review for tonight, before we move on to the third series of the David Tennant era, which will feature Freema Agama. But for now, let's go with this story, Fear Her. What is this story about? Well, essentially, the Doctor and Rose land on a street in 2012, just before the Olympics. Everybody's getting ready for the big day. However, when they're on this road, they suddenly realize that everybody begins to keep their kids in. And most importantly, everybody's children seem to be going missing. They're not quite sure how it happens, but later on they learn it's all due to a little girl known as Chloe Webber. Somehow, Chloe Webber has been given the ability to turn children in her street into pictures. They've all been trapped into the pictures, and the Doctor and Rose go to confront her. However, the Doctor eventually gets trapped in one of her drawings and is lost forever. Well, at least that is until Rose suddenly realizes exactly what's going on. Rose begins to talk in a seance with Chloe Webber about exactly why this alien that has come inside of Chloe Webber won't leave. It turns out that this alien that looks a lot like a dandelion, to be honest. And essentially, this being was trapped on Earth because it used to be part of a spaceship, and the spaceship crashed. However, when the spaceship crashed, it was then put under the tarmac, and Rose goes outside and annoys a council worker by taking a council axe from a council van and smashing the ground up with a council axe. She explains that she has just managed to save the world, and the Doctor manages to come back just in time to carry the torch. He lights the torch for the Olympics and manages to catch up with Rose eventually. The Doctor begins to feel a storm coming, and the pair of them go off in time and space. Oh, also, I should pretty much mention the fact that her father, Chloe Webber, in this story was also a big villain. So what did I think of Fear Her? It's not one of my favourite stories. I think it's a very interesting concept, and I like the idea that it was done on a low budget. I also like the idea that it was done during a historic moment, which was the 2012 Olympics. However, I do feel like there was a lot of things in this story that just kind of swayed you all over the place. For starters, the scribble ball. The scribble ball is ridiculous. It is a really interesting concept, but in the material of what happens, the fact that only the Doctor seems to notice these scribble balls is madness. The second thing that I think is madness in this story is I don't blame them for having Chloe Webber's father as a villain. I do blame them, though, for demonizing him as the main big problem in this story, especially when you consider that Chloe is actually the one taking away the children, not him. I can understand that she's afraid of him due to past trauma, but I do feel like that kind of goes away from the main issue of the plot, which is Chloe Webber is stealing people away with her drawings. And for that reason, I am going to give this a 7. No, tell a lie. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next Doctor Who review. Until then, goodbye, stay beautiful, you beautiful people.